Begin. Hello.
Hello.
We're here for another episode. Another
Yeah.
meeting, as it were,
Yes.
where we have
So,
news and stories.
yes. And I learned something today, and I don't know why, but it feels strange to me. Apparently, they're making a what's the game called again? The pirate game.
Which one? There are multiple pirate games.
The one pirate game.
You're talking about Sea of Thieves. You're talking.
Sea of Thieves, thank you. They're making a movie of that, a live action movie, and apparently it's directed by the person who directed the latest Spider-Man movie, which I don't really care about newer Spider-Man movies, but I mean, I guess that's cool for Sea of Thieves fans. I can't say any more about it because I don't know that much about Sea of Thieves, but
I just don't understand why they want to turn that kind of game into a movie.
I'm not sure how you would. Is there a story in Sea of Thieves? Because from all I've seen of it, is just pure goofy pirate things.
Just get treasure chests.
I guess they can make it kind of Pirates of the Caribbean-y.
I mean, to be fair, they have no inspiration anymore, movie makers, because Hollywood is looking at Reddit for stories.
Are they?
I saw a post about it, and immediately somebody made the joke. Hold on, let me pull the meme up on my phone because of course I downloaded it because that's what you do with memes. You download them immediately. All I have to do is still find it, which can be difficult sometimes. I know I did send it to someone, didn't I? Let me quickly. I know I'm very, very organized. When did I? Yeah. The cylinder must remain unharmed. 2020 in 2028. Somebody made that
What?
joke. As I guess I could give a little bit of context for that. Why the cylinder must remain intact. Um, somebody at some point in time said that that they had a cylinder stuck in an M&M's tube, and
Oh, I
it
have
needed to
seen
get
that.
out,
Yeah, I do know
but
about
the
that.
and the people were just like, "You stuck it in an M&M's tube, and now it's stuck, isn't it?" And he kept denying it. Kept just it kept going downhill, and it was just excellent to watch. To see the comments of, "No, it's not my penis; it's a cylinder."
I mean, that's not completely incorrect. It's like half correct.
Yeah, but everybody knows that you stuck it into the tube and now it's stuck. Deal with it.
Okay, but did they
Go.
ever find out why he did that? Did he ever say why?
I don't know, but to be fair, with stuff like
This
that,
is some banger opening subject, by the way.
yes, sticking your genitals into a tube and having it stuck.
We go from movie news to this thing that happened years ago with someone's dick.
Yes, specifically that. But yeah, to be fair, don't put dick into an M&M tube. Unless you wanted to get stuck and get made fun of on the internet. It happened years ago and people are still making fun of it.
I mean, as they should, honestly.
Yeah, fair point. But like, come on, you could have done it so much easier by simply not using an M&M tube, using a Pringles can.
Oh my god.
It has a bigger diameter.
speaking of God,
What an episode
I
this is already.
I I've been reading the Bible a little bit because last week I was like, yeah, I've finished my book. I finished Dune. Let's read a little bit of Bible. So I took it to my job, and it turned out to be a bad idea because like heavy book in the backpack on the way to work in hot weather is not great. And today I forgot to
No.
take it out. I forgot to take it out and put different. But so today I also had the. But anyway, apparently there's unicorns in the Bible.
Interesting. I did not know that.
In the book of Job, of all things. I
Hmm.
don't remember exactly what the context was. It was like God asking Job, "Hey, can you like fish up the Leviathan? Can you do this with Behemoth?" And then like something with unicorns. I don't know. I don't remember. So that I didn't know that. I didn't know the unicorns were in the Bible. Another thing I learned is that there's dragons in the Bible, which I kind of knew, but I thought they were only in Revelations, specifically one. But no, in Jeremiah, he just like God straight up says, I don't know what place they were talking about. It wasn't Babylon. They were talking about another place, and God was like, I will make it like only habitable for dragons.
So, apparently, dragons are biblically accurate now.
Well, I already knew that because, as I say, Revelations has a dragon, but I didn't know there were more.
Hmm.
Another thing I learned, not from the Bible. I was looking at mountain spirits, mountain things, for my story. Apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently, the Jews used to be, or at least a part of them used to be, like I always forget the word. Poly something. Believe in multiple gods.
Hmm.
Which, usually that's not what you associate with the Jews.
Yeah.
And the theory then is, by atheists, by filthy atheists. The theory is that Yahweh, who is that's God's name in the Old Testament, right?
Yeah.
Was a mountain god in that religion, which would explain why so many of these stories are people going to a mountain to pray to God. And there was another deity in this area called El. El is another name for God in the Old Testament. And I think there was even a third one. And most likely what happened is that they eventually kind of combined into the same being.
That could also possibly be an explanation for why heaven is above.
Heaven is always a
Yes, but mountain, tall, high.
um, the Christians are not the only one in that regard.
No, in my head it made sense.
Ever heard of Mount Olympus?
Maybe. No, but if you make that reference, it does kind of make sense.
Yeah. I thought it was very interesting. I don't know. I didn't do that much research of it, so I'm not completely sure, about how valid this is, like where this is from. But it was certainly interesting.
I mean, you know what I want to do?
Hmm.
I I want to go on a rant about people not using their indicators when changing
Oh,
lanes, but I'm not going to. Because saying that already says enough that people don't use them, and at this point, there's no use in arguing about it anymore and getting mad about it. Like, it's no use. I could go on a rant, but
that one short of Dante and Virgil going in a car is just completely accurate.
what? In what sense?
You haven't seen this?
No, I'll look at it afterwards.
Dante and Virgil in a car, and it's like, Dante's like, well, you gotta blend in with the humans, so don't just open portals. We'll go by car. Fine. And it's also like, use a fucking indicator. He's driving 50 on the fucking fast lane.
Yes, but Jim, no, at some point I'll talk to you when you are basically driving to work. Because then you will share my frustrations.
I've driven to work multiple times. I know what traffic is like.
Then you share my frustrations.
Yes, I do. I mean, brother, we've been in the car together for like 2 hours a drive.
That's fair, but honestly, that drive, if you do it, it's not that. Only, yeah, at some points it can be tight, but most of it is
bad.
like,
it's not bad until there's a fucking camper van in front of you.
Oh, the first time I drove back, where I was the first half stuck behind a camper van, and the next part stuck behind a truck.
Exactly.
So I was never able to do 100.
No.
And now I drive a car that I don't want to push above 100 because, honestly, it's not comfortable to drive that car that fast. And you, Jim, have experienced that as well.
Yes.
It is not a fast-moving vehicle, yet it does get you everywhere you need to go.
Yeah.
So I'm still very happy with it. And I would recommend the first generation Renault Twingo to everyone because it's spacious for its size. It's still small, but if you're a starter and you just need a first car, it's cheap.
I would not recommend it because it's loud.
I don't think it even has sound insulation in it.
Exactly. So if you're going on a highway or if there's wind, it's loud.
Yeah, I have the perfect solution for this. It's called turning the radio up.
Just bang a radio.
Yeah, exactly. Just put on highway to hell and just go, just go. All you need is good music.
And I can't completely argue with that.
I've defeated you with pure logic. Good music.
With pure, factual, objective
truth. It just put on Freebird and go onto the highway. But honestly, I do feel like, this may sound weird, but I do feel like my car just feels. Because for some reason, it really likes to do this. Put on songs that are great for going slightly faster, like Gas, 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 Freebird, especially when the solo hits. It likes to give those songs, or Deja Vu as well, when you're standing still at a traffic light, or when you're braking for a red light. Then it gives you those songs. But when you're going onto the highway, it gives you a relaxing song. It gives you like normal songs you just want to skip. I swear that car sometimes just annoys me that way. Like, you know, it'd be funny. They're standing still at a traffic light. Good music.
Deja vu.
Exactly.
Oh, but the only correct thing to do then is just floor it.
While you're standing still with people in front of you, just
the cops
on the
will
throat.
understand.
Your Honor, Freebird was playing. Yeah, I don't think they'd accept that. I think they'd just look at you like, dumbass. And especially because we both don't have our driver's license yet for 5 years.
Oh, true. How long
So-
do I have mine right now? I think. Wait, is it already 3?
Did you get yours in 2023?
Hold on, where does it say?
On the license.
2024.
Yeah, mine is easy to remember, considering I got mine on the 4th of July.
I got mine a bit over 2 years, unless this is put down in the American way, but I presume this is the European way.
It is European way because
So I assume 7/3 is March.
that would be correct. I mean, I got mine on the 4th of July of the same year, so I was just 4 months later in getting a license. Because they really like to take your money.
Yes. I mean, I would take your money.
I would take your money as well.
Alright, I
But
give
actually-
you 20, you give me 20. And we're both happy.
That actually brings us to a great news article I read today about how... the-
Nice segue.
Yeah, this is an actually really excellent segue to an news article about how
we planned this. We planned this.
more and more households can't make ends meet financially.
We
38%.
can't buy a house.
And apparently it's especially within the age group from 18 to 30. Going from 40% to 54%, so over half of us.
What losers. Imagine being 18 to 30.
Between the ages of 18 and 30, so that's us. And apparently,
I thought it didn't apply to 21.
Sadly, it does apply to 21.
It's
Which
not specifically 18 and 30.
No, it's everything in between. So, Jim, you know what that means? That means that half of our generation doesn't make enough money.
Oh, well, we know because we recently looked for a house.
Yeah, if we pull our money together and somehow make it contractually work, because that's also a thing,
Yeah.
we can get basically in a small apartment.
But apartments are usually already more expensive because usually that's in the city, and the city is usually more coveted and thus more expensive.
This is somewhat outside of a major city. So,
Yes.
either way, buying a house, unless you win the lottery or marry someone rich, it's not going to be an
Or
option.
maybe if I ask my parents real nicely.
Like, could you please give me 500,000?
Yeah. Well,
Then I can
they
buy a
can't afford
house.
that.
If you can please give me 500,000.
Yeah. We can buy a house that we then need to revamp.
Yes. Which means doing a lot of work ourselves, because
Yeah.
I ain't paying for someone to do it.
I mean, certain things I definitely would, like, you know, a fucking plumber.
Yeah, that.
Like, if we want to redo a bathroom, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But, like, the walls and shit, we could figure that out.
Maybe
Like,
some of the...
my dad would probably just help.
Yeah. Like painting and everything. Electrical work, potentially?
No, actually, no, you need to hire people for that because it needs like a label on it that it's been properly checked and shit.
Yeah, but can't you just do it yourself and then ask a company like, Oi, I've done electrical
No.
work. Can you come
No,
check?
I'm pretty sure you cannot.
I mean, it would actually save a lot of money, and if they do their job correctly, then they can say,
Yeah.
well, sadly, this isn't up to this. Basically, they can just say, all this shit isn't up to code. You fix that, or we fix it.
Yeah.
And it gets fixed, and it's up to code. Because I do have some requests, such as enough sockets to plug in everything, pretty much. And with that, in every room, or at least in most of the rooms, an Ethernet port, which is all routed through the
Yes.
walls to a network
Yes.
switch in the meter, like with the meter box and everything.
Let me just check something.
Because that means that no matter in what room you are, at least you don't need it in the bathroom. You don't need an Ethernet port next to the toilet.
No?
You're not gonna bring your laptop underneath your arm, sit at it to open up your laptop, and start gaming. Start toilet gaming. We ain't doing that.
Wait, did I just... Hold on, did I just accidentally stumble on good news?
What?
Hold on, can I...
Bring me the good news?
How old is this? Can I see how... Where do I see how old this is? Okay, never mind. This is old, apparently.
Oh,
Why has it not happened then?
what?
Okay, you know how, like, near my house, like, the main road in the village, it's like
Yeah.
a third of it-ish is like a 30-kilometer bit, and then everything else is 50.
Yeah, they're gonna make everything 30.
They were going to make it 30 the whole way, all the way to the end.
Which,
I don't know why that's not the case, and if they've been thinking about it, why has it not happened?
I guess it's safer, but it's also somewhat annoying because 30 kilometers per hour is such a speed where you're just so slow. Like,
Yes,
I understand
but it is
it's
quite cramped, and especially that bit in the middle where you just don't see shit.
I mean, the
Even
part
that
that's
part is not 30.
yeah.
Anyway.
But
Oh, well.
yeah, I mean, road speeds, I understand that you want them a bit lower. I mean, especially if you're in a really small village, it doesn't matter. Well, this matters slightly less considering you don't have a lot of people. But you also have the issue of not being able to separate traffic. Like, you can't really separate the cars and the bikes properly like you can do in a big city. So that's a little bit of a double-edged thing. Like, yeah, you don't have a lot of traffic, but the traffic that is there is all bunched together. And there's not really a smooth way to separate and make it nice without using a little bit more space that you do not have because there are buildings on both sides. And you can't just tell people to move their house back a couple meters. Like, if you're talking about a campsite, they could absolutely, with a bunch of camper vans, then yeah, they could just start the camper van up, drive it a short distance, done. But no, that can't happen.
You can always try.
You just move it brick by brick. Just fully disassemble it and reassemble it a couple meters further. That'll definitely do something.
Exactly.
No. And apparently, because it's incredibly hot again, with basically a Europe-wide heat wave,
Yeah, apparently in Italy they had code red.
they had record temperatures in France.
Yep, I also heard that.
And yet people are still saying climate change is fake. I wonder how they're going to explain these heat waves. Because you know, it's supposed to almost get up to 40 degrees here. 40.
Is that gonna happen?
Maybe in the south on Friday.
Oh, well, luckily I'm not there. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm still fucked here, but, you know, I'm not that fucked, I guess.
I'm actually gonna I'm gonna go to the office on Friday. Because the office I'm in is the only one with a proper, like, air-conditioned room. Our ceiling is filled with tubes that cool or warm the air. So today it was a nice, cool 21.6 degrees Celsius in the office. And I really like that because it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's air conditioning. And that's a neat part about working in an air conditioning company. You don't get stuck with all that shit. I think there are even ads outside that are specifically targeted towards people working outside, warning them of the hazards of skin cancer that you could
Yeah, I
get.
mean, that always happens, though. That's not unique to now.
Yeah, but, you know, as a ginger, the sun hates me. I don't know what I've done, but the sun absolutely hates me. So I have. So if I don't want to get a sunburn, I basically have to apply sunscreen every like hour or half hour. All the while I'm sweating. I'm sweating a lot, meaning your entire skin is basically covered in a mixture of sunscreen and sweat, and it's uncomfortable. I don't want to have to wipe myself off every time I want to apply it. I don't have to carry a towel all day. Just and you definitely know once you've missed a spot because that spot will be burned. So, yeah. You know, moving to a colder climate might not be such a bad idea.
Joe, what are prices on Norwegian homes?
I was more thinking of Scotland because, yeah.
But then you live in the UK.
Yes, however, they're gonna get a new prime minister because
Oh.
Keir Starmer has quit because
And you think that will change?
he was
anything?
basically universally hated by everyone. So I think this is like the 7th prime minister that they've had in 10 years. I mean, we all know Liz Truss, the one that lasted shorter than a head of lettuce.
Actually,
I remember watching that live stream. The lettuce that
yeah.
outlasted someone's term because they just quit that quickly. But hopefully the new guy will actually do his job.
Actually, I actually have some other news regarding Stop Killing Games.
Is it positive or is it negative?
The EU has rejected it, most likely because Ubisoft lobbied.
Yeah, I know it got rejected.
Which is most likely gonna backfire on Ubisoft because now everybody fucking hates them and they kind of need their next game to be a success because they are in the red.
I mean, I've heard people say that if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't
Yeah.
stealing. So people
Yes.
have actually said, like, alright, piracy isn't stealing then. Off we
Yes.
go.
Yes. But they're in the red. They've now wasted money, you know,
Ooh.
lobbying for this, which, like, it literally, if it goes through, it would have helped them.
Yeah, because first of all, gamers are cheap. Like, of course, some
Yeah.
have money, but most of them are cheap because we aren't made of money. PCs are
Yeah.
really expensive. AI is screwing us over already. I mean, the Steam Machine price has released and it's $1,350.
Yeah.
So I think Sam Altman has a couple more enemies now.
However, there is also some positive news. It apparently seems to be going quite well with Top Gun games in that, like, American, I don't remember exactly where this was, but, like, in a state in America.
Well, as long as it goes through somewhere, because if it goes through somewhere, there's a higher chance that
Yeah.
they're going to implement it everywhere because, yeah. Also, the
Yeah.
easiest trick to basically solve this whole crisis is just one simple feature. Community servers. Allow for that, and boom, all the troubles are gone. People can still play their old games. And, maybe not removing them from people's library all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, that's how Team Fortress 2 has stayed on for so long. Because, like, a bit ago, I tried going into normal matches, and it almost always in a couple rounds just emptied. Because everybody left. But community servers are still active. Because, people can make their own servers, they pretty much Team Fortress 2 hadn't had an update for 10 years at this point. Jungle Inferno was the last one. And yet, they had some updates where they just kept adding community stuff. Like another community map, another map, a community game mode even.
Yeah. Apparently, I saw recently that The Witcher 3 is getting another update, which is surprising to me. I don't... Unless this was one of those, like, fan updates. I don't think it was. I'm not sure.
Payday...
It surprised me, because it's like, it's The Witcher 3. Like, this game's quite old.
Payday 2 is still getting updates.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mainly because they tried to launch Payday 3, it flopped massively, so they just backed down to updating their old game. Like, games can be... Like, the game I'm currently playing, I'm not sure how old Zero Valley is, but it's not new. And most of my games that I play aren't new. Like, Stormworks is probably 10 years old as well. Minecraft's old. BeamNG and Automation are both decently old at this point. Like, the newer games just aren't it anymore because they're all the same. Just not innovative anymore. Cost a whole lot of money and often have just have pay-to-win features or have so much paid content that having the base game just makes you feel miserable because all you see is locked stuff. Like all you see is, oh, you have to buy this, oh, you have to buy this. So we're basically relying on indie studios now. If we want, oh hey.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Because AAA studios just don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Also, speaking of, I think I saw an article, not sure how true it was, that Microsoft might be looking into selling Xbox.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
And also that Xbox doesn't have all the money, doesn't have money for all the studios that they own.
Mm-hmm.
Which also makes no fucking sense because think about it. They've spent a lot of money buying a
Yeah.
bunch of studios, only to come out and
Yes.
say, "Whoops, we don't have the money."
Well, because Xbox has been doing terrible in terms of sales recently.
Yeah, that makes sense if you increase the price of Game
I
Pass.
can't I can't are there even Xbox exclusives?
Not sure.
Because look, as much as you can hate exclusives, they do boost companies.
Yeah, because everybody has to buy your console specifically for that
Yeah,
purpose.
yeah. Like I bought a PlayStation because so I could play Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Except with Bloodborne, it's just dumb that it's not that it's still an exclusive. Because at this point, it's been literally how long has it been? 11 years. It'd be free money to port it.
Or they make the
Come
price
on,
tag
Sony.
like 60, boom.
People would pay that. It'd be worth it too.
That's also a thing, the price of games has gone up way too much for AAA studios.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon
Dude, I
6.
remember the fucking quadruple A video game that flopped on release.
What about Concord?
Yeah.
You know, the game
Yeah.
that was out for like 2 weeks before being pulled already because it was just
Yeah.
that shit.
Something very similar happened to the other game. I forget what it was, but there was like this game. You know the guy from the Game Awards? The like I don't know his name. He hosts the Game Awards. He showed off this game like at the end of the awards, which like that's like the most expensive, most prestigious spot to be shown off, right? Because you're the final thing in the whole event.
Yeah.
And it went to this game that no one had ever heard of before. That looked kind of cool, but also it was from a from a studio no one had ever heard of before, and it looked I don't know it was this weird thing, and then more information released about it, and the more that came out about it, the more generic it kind of looked. So it became like, why was that featured? Why was that why was that the final announcement? And then the theory came in that the host had like stakes in it, that he had like that he had like stocks in the company or something. Turned out that no, he just liked the idea, and then the game released. People came into it, realized it was like half finished, never returned, and the game failed.
Wait, so the game was half finished on launch just like every other game that it's recently released?
Yeah, well, they had like a whole roadmap that they released along with the release of like, hey, we're gonna add all this, and then the question just became, okay, but then why did you release it now?
Hmm.
On top of that, the character designs were kind of bland, so it, already not, because that's more important than you might think.
Yeah,
To
if,
have
if the characters
cool
aren't
looking
interesting.
designs. Yeah, like, that was the whole problem with Concord. Well,
If
that
the,
was not the whole problem with Concord, but that was part of the problem.
if the characters aren't interesting, the gameplay loop isn't interesting.
Yeah. So it just yeah, it flopped, and like they kept supporting it for like a couple months, and then they were like, yeah, no, we it's not selling as much as we thought it would. We can't keep this up.
Oh
I forget what the
no.
name. I forget the title of this game. I don't know what it was. Hold on, I'll
They
see if I can find it.
they couldn't keep up. Now we're gonna have to.
Which, by the way, that's the other thing about it, is that is also such bullshit. Because keeping servers open for a company is not that expensive.
It's mainly just the purchasing of the equipment and maintenance.
Yeah, but even that, like, if you do it on your own, sure, that could be pricey. But as a company, like, there are these games that have technically been dead for, like, years, and even they still have servers open, you know?
Yeah, but it can be just one dude in his basement, just
No, like, actual servers from the actual owner of the game.
from the
Like, the
fish,
actual company.
like official servers.
Yeah. Um... High Guard. That's what the game is called.
Hmm.
And I like that I found the name because of the thumbnail, or not the thumbnail, the title of a video. And the title is How to Butcher Your Entire Game Studio in Under 45 Days.
First off, step one: release a game that is just generic. Because generic games are
You
good,
know,
apparently.
you know what? While we're on the topic, I might as well. Because there's another game a game announcement I forgot to mention last time. And it's one you'll be extremely happy about.
What?
Lords of the Fallen 2.
You mean the one with the most
which would be
generic names
yeah,
for bosses?
which would be the third game in the Lords of the Fallen series, because the second one is also just called Lords of the Fallen.
So you had Lords of the Fallen, then you had Lords of the Fallen, and now you have Lords of the Fallen
Yes.
2.
Yes. But like, so okay, I will say that second one, I think people call it Lords of the Fallen 2021. Big improvement over the original. Like, I can tell that. Massive improvement. Because I think a lot of people may not even know that there was a one earlier. And for the people who don't know what we were talking about, it's a game that looked at Dark Souls, which quite a few companies have done. They looked at Dark Souls and thought, okay, let's do that. And with nothing else. Just no change, no new setting, no cool new mechanic. Well, there were some new mechanics, ones that did not fit in with the game at all.
They basically said, let's do a Dark Souls, and then they did a Dark Souls and then flopped.
Yes, I think Iron Pineapple put it very well. It's all of the dark and none of the soul.
Ouch.
But so they had bosses and they were just like, I think there were 10 bosses in the whole game, and like 8 of them I think are just generic knight, and they all had just names like Annihilator. Cool. Great, awesome.
Cool. I do love
Beast.
fighting the Annihilator.
Yeah, like this, and the thing is, you don't need something super exciting. But if you look even at Elden Ring, which has, if you include DLC, has over 200 bosses. Some of them are repeated, right? Like they have like repeated mini bosses, but usually they'll still have something, right? Like you have the Crucible Knights, but 2 of them actually have a name. You have, all the dragons have their own name. And it's like, it's not that hard.
Yes,
Why
it is.
did you name this thing just Beast? Even Dark Souls, which has somewhat generic boss names for some of the bosses, still has like Asylum Demon. Like Capre? I think it's Capre Demon. It's like, at least it's distinct. At least it's somewhat memorable. What am I supposed to do with the name Commander? Wow. But anyway, looking at the trailer of this new Lords of the Fallen game, like Lords of the Fallen 2, they may have learned. It actually looked kind of cool.
Good.
So, who knows?
So they
I don't know when
may
it's
have
releasing.
actually made a somewhat decent game.
Maybe they have, yeah.
Instead
Oh, yeah,
of...
well, okay, I just opened Steam. Witcher 3 Songs of the Past, so yes. Apparently there is going to be actual DLC, which is... been a while. Anyway, let me see if it's already on Steam.
Also, a quick side note with some actual news. Some people were going out with a camper van, you know? They were, you know, going on holiday, having fun. Then they took a turn into like a wooden, basically sort of bridge through nature, basically a nature reserve kind of thing, and fell through, sort of sank through it because camper van is heavy. They were now stuck on a road which you aren't even allowed to drive on. It's for pedestrians and cyclists. There were probably signs there. But what do people not read? Signs. So now they were stuck there. And they have been fined. Luckily, the camper van has gotten away with minimal damage. Because if it had gotten major damage, they would have been screwed hard. Like, if fuel would have started leaking into the actual into nature, then they would actually be screwed. Because as soon as fuel starts leaking into nature, that's when problems arrive. Because what are you supposed to do then? You know, there's fuel in nature. You're not gonna get rid of that easily.
Okay, I'm looking at the gameplay trailer right now for the new Lords of the Fallen game. It does still, you know, it's alpha gameplay. It does still seem a little bit floaty almost. Maybe it feels better to play, I don't know. But looking at the like setting and the designs, there have definitely been major improvements.
Nice.
I'm wondering if all the weapons will have like be unique now. Because I know in the 2021 they have like a shitload of weapons and they all just kind of do the same thing. Is there like a boss fight somewhere or something? Not really. Alright, well anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to go into nature with a camper van, you should not just like you should look where you want to go. We should look up how the route works. And not just go out and try, you know, be like, oh, well, we'll see what happens. And then, oh no, shit went bad. Google Maps isn't holy. Like, it's not just like, oh, Google Maps says we need to go here, we'll go there. If you do that, you're gonna end up in the middle of nowhere.
Hold on. Can you confirm that Google Maps is not holy?
I don't think it's written that it's so. So
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not
what? It's
just.
not written that it's not so.
If everything had to be written that it's not so, then the book would be too long.
Very true.
So it's not in the Bible that specifically indicates that Google Maps is
No,
is holy.
we can have unicorns, but Google Maps, nah.
Nah, too much.
Exactly.
Probably. It would make travel
You're
too
getting
easy.
it.
Yoran, I learned last week that there's unicorns in the Bible.
Yeah, I think so.
In the book of Job. Today I was reading and I learned there's dragon. I mean, I knew about the dragon in Revelations, but apparently there's more dragons. I didn't know that. Anyway,
So apparently ran out of time on my news app because I've put limits on my time limits on my phone. Because guess what? Phones can be quite addicting. And YouTube says that their algorithm isn't addicting. To that I say, sure. It isn't totally meant to keep you on the platform for as long as possible. Or at least that's how the shorts probably work. That's how the shorts work. Because those are meant to keep you on as long as they can keep you there. And then only afterwards do they only like a couple hours do you think, oh well, I should probably do something. And then you scroll for another 3 hours, and then, oh wait, it's now 4 a.m. Shit.
Yoran has been very quiet this episode.
Yeah, no, I'm pondering how hard I'm gonna fail my exam tomorrow.
Then have you tried studying?
Extremely hard. Did it help?
Yes, I've not studied for this exam at all.
Then
So,
what are you doing right now?
looking what I could have studied, and know
That should be enough.
for what to do next time. Nah, it won't.
So you're
No, there was a bit
How
of a
hard
time
could it be?
shortage with all the stuff, so I had to choose.
How hard could it be?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with schools.
Yes.
They
The
tend to
annoying
give
thing,
you.
the exam that I did study for, I failed anyway. So.
So you're gonna. Does that mean you're gonna be in the same time
So,
shortage soon? Like again? Just.
Yeah, pretty much.
no, but why do you study at all then? You fail anyway. I'm such a helpful guy.
Yeah, no, totally. You're very helpful right now.
I know.
Oh hey, I'm looking now at
You're
a map, like a heat map of Europe, and
no.
apparently the hottest spot is just like the western side of France. Does that mean they're finally getting rid of the French?
I hope so.
They've just decided to say, all right, it's done. They've done enough. They've been French for long enough. We're just gonna have to get some new people in there.
Yeah.
The
Thanks for the crepes and the French fries.
Ooh.
French fries are Belgian.
Those were Belgians, actually.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it seems like the entire world is somewhat on fire.
I wonder if this could have been prevented or has been predicted.
We haven't heard trumpet sounds though, right?
Not yet, but I fear we might not hear them because we'd already be dead.
Oh. Well, I guess Book of Revelations can go out the window then.
Because for some reason,
Right.
oil companies haven't figured out that if they made sustainable fuels, then they
Shell is
wouldn't.
gonna stop revelations by burning the world first.
No, like, I thought about this, right?
Damn you, God, we'll do it ourselves.
I actually put thought into this, right?
Got him.
Renewable energies for a company are a really good investment.
Got them?
Exactly.
Right.
If you think about it, like
What now?
oil and fossil fuels are, you know, they're a finite thing. You can't, once you've drained it out of the ground, you can't. It doesn't magically become more. Like, it doesn't regrow. In the meantime, if we're talking about like synthetic fuels that you can just make, or any other renewable energy, you can make that for an infinite amount of time because it's renewable. So then you only have to build a factory instead of having to put oil rigs out, having new ones, another one, another one, to pour oil into the ocean to fuel your car. But if you use synthetic fuels, you can make a lot of money without having to worry about, oh, this oil rig is almost empty. We're gonna have to place a new one somewhere, or there are gonna be earthquakes because of all the gas drilling that they've done. You can make everybody's life better. And because the Earth will be there for longer, you can make profit for even longer.
Apparently, Nifidels added a humidity of 69%.
Nice.
That's interesting.
How hot is it there anyway?
26.
Here it's
Yeah,
25.
same here, I think. Yeah.
So it's
Over the weekend, it was quite hot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was exactly why it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Actually, Yoda, now that you're here, do you want to help finance a house?
With what
There were
finance?
3 bedrooms.
With what finance?
Get a job.
I have one. I
Get a
lose all the
full-time
money to
job.
school.
Well,
Then
get
don't go to
out of
school.
Get a full-time job.
Wait, Jim.
Give me a couple years.
Yeah.
You don't
What?
even have a full-time job. You work 4 days
I
a
do have
week.
That still counts as a full-time job. It's not a part-time job.
You could work more.
I could.
You could do 5
But I
hours a
don't.
week.
You could work. You could do
5
10 hours
hours.
a day.
Yeah, I wish I could do that as well, 5 hours a week, and earn the same amount of money I do now.
Just scam your employer. Make him sign a contract without reading it.
Well, not for 40 hours, no, for 40 minutes.
Then that contract would be void. No, under law.
Hey, if you
No,
put...
if he signs it and he didn't read it, that's his fault. That's his problem.
Yes, also...
70% humidity. 23.3 degrees.
Funny idea. Put the time, instead of 40 hours, 40 minutes, but with the same pay. So if I do work 40 minutes, I get this amount. Which usually is for 40 hours. Which means you can work for... I don't know, just work for 80 minutes. You earn 2 months' wage. Is my train still rolling away? No. But it's gonna get hot on Friday. Apparently, where I live, it's gonna be 37 degrees outside.
Yeah.
38 over here.
Yeah, at what point do
we give up?
So there is a river here.
can you legally go fishing in the river?
No, but you can swim.
Why can't you go fishing in the river?
Okay, but what if you fish by just straight up catching them with your
habitat.
bare hands while you're swimming?
That would just be impressive.
Well, yes, but usually
They would let it pass because they are so impressed by your masculinity that they'll let it slide.
I don't
Yes.
know. I'm genuinely curious if that would still count as fishing technically.
Well, let's look it up.
Because usually fishing, you know, it means the rod.
Because fishing is fun. And you should do it more often, but yeah. I only after like an entire month do I have time available again. Like, I could just not have to wake up early or have to leave on Friday morning at 6 a.m. to drive all the way to France. Belgium is still weird to drive through.
You know what I discovered today?
What?
In America, they have a dish, waffles, you know, like Belgian waffles.
Yeah?
With chicken.
Honestly, doesn't sound too bad.
What do you mean it doesn't sound too bad? That sounds awful. Why?
Depends on the seasoning on the chicken.
You're supposed to eat that with cream. Or ice cream.
Jim,
or
have you had it before?
No.
Then I know what we're gonna be eating.
No.
Hey,
No.
don't hate on it till you've tried it.
I will make cheese ice cream. I will not make waffles with chicken.
Jim?
Usually, yes. In most places, if you intentionally catch or attempt to catch fish with your hands, the law still considers that a form of fishing.
Okay, that's fair.
But what if you say, I accidentally grabbed this fish?
It just appeared in my hand.
Yeah, like, how do they know you intended to catch that fish?
Then you have to roll with disadvantage for perception.
I see.
Yeah, but what if you hold it? You show it like, I have this fish in my hands.
Perception.
What if you hold it out like you're posing for Tinder?
No, but like, what if you catch it, show it, somebody takes a picture, and you just throw it back into the water?
Posing as if I caught a fish, and then the fish jumped into my hand. That's the picture I took.
So the trick is to only get caught by a female officer because they won't be able to resist you.
What?
Because you can charm them with your fish.
Well, it depends on how
you can
high
skip
your
the
charisma
Tinder part.
stat is.
And the size of the fish.
Stat is not high enough.
You can skip the Tinder part. You just pose for her.
Also, the size of the fish.
Jim, I feel like your charisma stat is not high enough for that.
No, but that's what the fish is for.
Yeah, but it has.
But how much does that boost charisma?
It depends on the size. If you catch a really small fish, it's not gonna impress her.
Well, we'll say like a quarter point per inch.
You have to have a big fish, and only then will they well, I mean, if you catch with your bare hands, you catch like a meter-long fish, then they'll probably be impressed.
Yeah. And if they aren't, you just slap them with it.
You just wield it.
Yeah.
A wield fish.
You have now spent all your points at charisma, which you don't have anyway. So no, the chance that you have actual strength or dexterity are fairly low now.
Yeah, but that's what the fish is for. If the fish is long enough, it will gain more momentum because if it's length.
I thought the fish already gave charisma points.
It's a
Does it now
fish.
also give dex?
It can do both. It's a
Yes.
fish.
Oh,
It's a fish.
right.
Day.
And it also gives you
We should
food,
start
depending on the
playing
fish.
again.
We should end the episode. This is getting out of hand.
Something's
So
fishy.
this is the most serious conversation we've had all year.
Oh, you don't know how this one started.
Yeah.
Don't tell him.
Yeah.
Please, enlighten me.
You'll have to watch the
I
episode.
didn't need to grab my Bible. Which I do need
Oh,
to do
does-
because today I accidentally took it. You know how last week I complained about it being too heavy for this weather?
Yeah.
I subsequently forgot to take it out of my bag. So I took it today too. Oops.
But it wasn't that heavy that you didn't notice.
No, I did, but I didn't
then
have
it-
time to pick another book. So I was like, well, I guess I'm reading the
Right.
Bible. Guess I'm going through this weather with that heavy thing again.
Jim, just buy a car.
Again, you can just take the car.
Nah.
Like, you can get a car for less than 1,000. Will it be a shitbox? Yes. Will it get you
seems
from
like
A to
this is-
B? Also, yes.
On the other hand, he is staying fit, though, Jules.
Yeah, and I'm not, which I'm starting to bike more again.
Without going to the gym, so that's quite handy.
He is Jim already. He is the gym.
I come auto-equipped with it.
But yeah,
With bike, you've been
We're
born
Dutch.
with bike.
we're Dutch.
Exactly.
We're all
We're Dutch,
automatically
we're born
equipped with a bike.
Americans are born with guns, and French are born with
I came
baguettes.
out of the womb on a unicycle actually, because that fit.
And the Germans came out the womb with beers.
Yeah, exactly.
And Italians with pizza.
Speaking of, Eleonora found some herbs, like, around the neighborhoods.
Weed.
Some Dutch herbs.
Oh,
So
so
yes,
weed.
weed. Yes.
Wait, I
How do
actually
you-
guessed correctly.
How do you find it?
If it's something
Apparently, it was
blind.
laying under a bench.
Are you sure
So
she's
somebody
not
lost it.
involved?
Well, she did throw it away fairly willingly, so
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, but what if it was a deal and somebody
But what
just
if
left
the
it underneath the
garbage man
bench?
is also involved.
There'd be some elaborate
then good
scheme.
luck looking for that, like, 5 grams of weed, like, in between all the rabbit shit.
I'm sure drug
Quite
addicts
literally.
are. I'm sure drug addicts are like
Willing to dig
willing to do that.
through like a couple kilos of
Yeah.
hay, shit, and pee? Probably not.
I'm sure they're determined enough.
I don't think they're that determined.
You know what? I think it's time to say something.
Yeah.
And that is that we're not experts.
But we were here.